Welcome back everyone to the channel. How is everyone doing? We are back with My Drive on Le Mans Ultimate. For those of you who don't know what My Drive is or didn't see the update video I put out the other day, Le Mans Ultimate is, a really good game that got released last year, which follows world endurance racing, as we can see on screen. These closed cockpit sports cars, multi-class racing provides fantastic fun to drive, hopefully fantastic fun to watch. And the game came out in very early access and was lacking quite a few features, such as a single player sort of career mode, but I decided, you know what, why not make our own? So in season 1 I basically did a calendar, the 2023 calendar of single player races, joined all the results together, and basically used that season as a test bed to see what I like, see what I didn't like. And we brought it back for season 2, so we're doing not just the 2024 races, but all the available races. So we've got Imola, Spa, Portimao, Le Mans, Fuji, every race that's available on Le Mans Ultimate we will be racing. And today we have round 1 here at Imola for our standard length race, so that is an hour and a half. 3 different types of races that we've got in this calendar. We've got sprints, which are a bit shorter, the standard hour and a half races, and extended, which will be for Le Mans 2.4 hours, where we'll simulate the whole day cycle. But I just wanted to give a quick intro to say we're back for season 2, here's what it is, and we've got round 1 Imola here for you. Absolutely fantastic race around the tight and twisty old school circuit. There might be a few audio issues, but I should have figured it by the next episode, so I hope you enjoy, and I'll pivot to myself to give you some lovely commentary. Welcome back everyone to the start of season 2 of My Drive. I hope you're all well. We're in for a fantastic race here today round the twisty, tight and twisty Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Imola, very old school track, so it's going to be difficult to overtake, crucial to keep it on the track. Slight off moments could end up in the barrier. And as we cycle through to the front of the field, the random grid today sees Will Stevens on pole position in the Toyota Porsche, followed by Chatan and Lapierre in the Alpines. We're down in 5th position. And with these random, it's going to be really crucial to maximise results when we have good positions. So we're going to have to try and score lots of points today, start our championship off well. But as we come towards the start-finish line for round of season 2, we're away. And Will Stevens gets actually not a very good start, and Chatan comes round down the inside even, and is up into the lead of the race. And Will Stevens looks like he's being attacked by the Ferrari of Kubica as well, and the Alpine on the outside. Little touch there on the back of Will Stevens as we hear crunching and clanking in the background. But we're still in 5th position. Oh, we dropped down to 7th actually there momentarily, back up to 6th as we've lost a position too. The Alpine has gone very wide. They can recapitalise. We're going to try a little switch back, go around the outside of the hairpin. We have done it back up into 5th position where we have started. Van der Linde having a great start there. Stevens really falling back from 1st down to 3rd as we run up the hill, chasing down that BMW car. Down towards the end of sector 2, we're going to have to try and get a good run up the hill here with the cars in front. We'll cycle back for a second, although actually before we cycle back we're going to see, can we make a move down on the BMW into the chicane? No, we can't. We'll have to stick behind him now, but we get a very good run out of the chicane. Are we going to put it down into towards turn 1, sticking in the slipstream of the BMW? Are we going to dive it? Don't. Oh, actually crashed into the back of him a little bit there, but it looks like we survived without any damage. Just broke ourselves there. BMW perhaps making a little too much more than we expected, and we stay behind him for now. But we're getting a very good slip behind him, only 0.3 of a second behind us. Very much in overtaking range. Are we going to try it into turn 1? We just stick behind him, or we see a little bit of damage on the left-hand side of our Lamborghini, driving this fantastic bright green machine in our first of our home tracks. We're at Mon in the next round here at Imola. We're going to have to see if we can put on a show for the home fans. We get poor exit there. The Alpine actually looks like it's going to try and make an overtake. No, it's just sticks behind for now. We've gone deep. The Alpine is up the inside. He gets launched out of the hairpin. Running up the hill. We're just going to squeeze him over to the side and keep the position up into P5. What a chaotic start. We're only on lap 1. See, behind us we've got the Cadillac of Bamba, and then the BMW of Vanthor. And then there's a little bit of a gap down to in the second of the Ferraris. We've actually got the AF Corsa, like privateer Ferrari, up in second position, so putting in a good show for the Ferrari fans. But we get a good run through here, right on the gearbox of Van der Linde. And we're going to try another move. We know he's going to brake a bit earlier. We dive it down the inside, just get our braking sorted, don't hit the back of Stevens, and we are up into P4 in this race. So good start from us. We're going to try and get onto the back of Stevens now in that lovely gold Jota. And let's there for a minute. Let's cycle back through the pack, see what else is happening. We've got a little train behind us. Oh, we go very wide there. Just lacking concentration and going onto the grass. Almost, well, causing us to have a bit of up there. Absolutely wild scenes. We've got the BMW right on us now. Is he going to try and make a move into the end of sector? He just sticks behind, but Lapierre tries to go for a move around the outside, doesn't quite get it, but Bamba's going to go and try his luck around the outside. Can he get it? He brakes late. Lapierre sticks up the inside. Obviously, very experienced Alpine driver, and that actually causes Vanthor to make a move up behind Bamba. Can he get up into P6? Can he? P7 even is through, but bad exit through there, down the hill. What can Bamba just get squeezed out there, or almost losing on the curves, get shunted by Fuoco a few times then. We've got the Toyota coming through. The Toyota of Buemi. He's up into P10, P9 even now. God, what a crazy opening laps. Can't even keep up with what's happening here. Is Buemi now going to look for a move past Bamba down the hill? Is he just going to stick behind for now? I think he's just going to stick behind for now and work on chasing him down towards turn 1 and trying to get that move. And just did. In the slipstream now for Buemi, and in fact Bamba's in the slipstream of Van der Linde ahead. Obviously the Cadillac and the BMW are effectively the same car underneath as per the LMDH rules, but very different bodywork, slightly different engines, with the BMW using the turbocharged V8. He's going to look for a move, is he? No, he's just going to stick behind for now. And the Cadillac using that pre-aspirated big capacity V8 has the incredible sound. And while we come through into Sector 2... Oh, Fuoco just made an overtake into Buemi into 9th. And just action thick and fast here. As we then look back to the group that's outside the top 10 of the Zotto Fraschini, the privateer Italian car, making its debut here in my drive. Being chased down by the real-life successful world champion Porsche of Kevin Estre, and then our teammate in the other Lamborghini of Portoletti. Then the other Porsche behind him of Campbell, by the new and improved, well, I say new and improved, seems to be quite slow on this game, but the Peugeot driven by Van Dorn, second Toyota of Conway, the other Jota Porsche of Rasmussen, followed finally by Muller, Niljani in the Proton competition Porsche, and then way back behind them is the third and final Ferrari of Pierre Gasly. So we're going to make our way back up the field now, see if we can catch any battle. We do. Porsche of Kevin Estre still behind Bennett in the Isotta Fraschini. Buemi's dropped a bit off the back of Fuoco, who's still chasing down Bamba and Vanthor. We then have Lapierre chasing down Van Thor's teammate of Van der Linde in the art car BMW, who was then chasing us, still in fifth, fourth now even, as we chase down Will Stevens. Will Stevens, I think, must have a bit of damage somewhere, maybe off of some contacts in turn one. So there's quite a big gap up until the leading duo of Schatten, followed by Kubica, as we get a bit of a last spike here. For some reason, we'll go off of the front two, for whatever reason. Follow us chasing down Will Stevens. See, we're here in one of the other new cars in the season. We've got Alpine's new car, it's also Ski, the updated Peugeot, and now we have our Lamborghini. Absolutely beautiful car, majestic. I really enjoy the rear wing with the strakes on the rear wing. And we're in the slipstream, the Lamborghini 7 as well here, as we go on the inside, going into turn one. Can we get the move done and dusted? We can into turn. We're up into P3, up onto the podium in the first 5 home races for the team. Well, Will Stevens is going to look to make a charge back. Doesn't have enough overspeed to get the job done, and we are up into P3. So let's see if we can close down the gap to the leaders here. It's going to be difficult. They seem to have a lot of pace. We run a little bit wide there at the hairpin. Good exit out. Schatten and Kubica seem to have the paces. We're going to cut onto the front two here. Kubica really pushing this yellow Ferrari, AF Corsa Ferrari, trying to get up into first place. It's just incredible to see the differences between the LMDH cars and the Le Mans hypercars. How all these cars are so different and yet so similarly paced. You know, in this top battle alone, the Alpine, obviously rear-wheel drive, like a standard hybrid, whereas the Ferrari has that four-wheel drive, completely unique hybrid system there. Cutting onto the back of the GT3 field there for a minute. But we are still in third position. We've pulled a bit of a gap to the Porsche of Will Stevens, who seems to be in a bit of a train here, or the cork in the bottle, as you could say, for the cars behind. Everyone now just into the first stint. Already 10 minutes down of this hour-and-a-half race. Obviously, we've got standard points in this opening race, so it's important to, obviously these standard races. I've explained it in the preview video, but we've got the sprints as standards and then the extended races. So the sprints are going to be the 45-minute races with the points we used last season. Actually, the points are based off of the real-life points for the shorter, medium, and then longer races. So the winner of this race is going to get more points than the winner of Monza next time out, because Monza is going to be a sprint race. But everyone now just settling down, looking after the tyres, looking after their fuel, trying to conserve fuel. Obviously going an extra few pit stops or an extra few laps before a pit stop, what you really want. So everyone just the slipstream, just managing everything. We're going to be onto the back of the when it loads, there we go. Already coming through the LMG T3 field. Obviously the GT3 is new to this season as well. Kubica to have been caught up a little bit in the back markers, and now we're going to follow us as we scythe our way through them, trying to make up some time on Kubica. Slicing our way there down into turn one. Clunking the McLaren there slightly. It's quite difficult to overtake these GT3 cars, especially into the braking zone. For those of you who don't know, the GT3 cars have ABS compared to the old LMGT cars, which didn't have ABS, so they're probably better braking performance, or can brake a lot deeper into some of the corners, so it makes it quite difficult to overtake them. Obviously we've got the more power, more downforce, so in the straights and the corners we're just getting so much speed, but we've got to be careful picking our way through here. You see the gap now. Kubica's lost 3 seconds to the back of Schatten. and we're 3 seconds further from them. Let's watch as Lapierre his way almost get touching the back of the Corvette there. It's very difficult to cut your way through, especially on this track. Very tight and twisty. Not a lot of room, you know, you can't really go off track anywhere. If you do go off track, you're going to be on the grass, that's going to be even worse for you. And I think was that the Toyota of Buemi getting past Bamba Fuoco. And he's past Vanthor as well now. But Vanthor's going to come back at him down the inside of the penultimate corner. Keeps it there through the final corner. And he's going to stay ahead of Buemi. Regains 5th position there. We're going to cut back to the front of the field now, as we have right up onto the back of Kubica here. Just a second behind. As you see, he's dropped a bit back behind Chatan in the Alpine. But we are only about a second and a bit behind him now. So we've really gained through the traffic, as the commentators like to say in work, the traffic gather and the traffic take away. So we've got to be careful next time we come through them, make sure, you know, all the good work that we've done this time doesn't bite us in the gearbox. And even though we've got a race here, it's, you know, a bit of a longer form, hour and a half, it's just chaos everywhere that you look. See in the map in the top right corner, we've got the remnants of the LMG T3 field here. We're gonna stick on Russ for now, because I think Kubica got held up a little bit there by the Corvette. We're gonna follow him through, and I think we're now through pretty much all of the traffic. So see if in a straight fight we can have the pace to keep up with Kubica here. We'll cut back momentarily to look at the fight further back, as Buemi's had an absolute shocker, and from being up in 5th place, he's now fallen back down to 8th. Even further. Oh, Will Stevens has had a shocker. He's even further back. He's fallen, the race on pole, and he's now down in 8th position, being chased by the BMW van der Linde. I think Buemi has actually pitted, so I don't know whether that's damage. We'll have to make our way back to him. Looks like big damage there. Rear wing missing. That is not ideal. And Bennett in the Azoto Fraschini has had an absolute mare as well. Now dropped down into 19th place following the Proton competition Porsche and the 2nd Peugeot. Pierre Guidi's making his way up the field nicely, now into 15th place, so taking advantage of the traffic. This is Rasmussen, I believe, getting caught up there behind some traffic as he chases down the now leading Toyota of Conway, who in turn is down the number 5 Porsche of Matt Campbell. It seems like now everyone is pretty much making their way through the leaders of GT3. For now we'll have a little while of clear air running. We see how the traffic really splits up the flow of the race. We have come back onto us right behind Kubica, so we've got a nice 10-second buffer back to 4th place of the 2nd of the Alpines of Lapierre. With the pit stop modifier, the fuel modifiers and the tyre modifiers, it will soon enough be time for a cheeky pit stop. I think typically the fuel can go for 25 minutes or so. So we'll be entering into that stage of the race shortly. I see on the map we've got that massive gap back to 4th. But the pit stops are going to make or break this race. Damage, change of tyres, how much fuel you take on, all of it is going to have an impact on the race. I think the way that the fuel should work out is towards the end of the race, everyone will need a splash and dash, and how much of a splash and dash you need. If you save a lap of fuel here and there throughout the race, it's a second or two that you stopped in that final stop. So really crucial to be quick, be consistent, but make your fuel save. And so we'll be lifting and coasting down into the big braking zone to turn 1. Just using this slipstream of Kubica. And we'll be gaining all the way down this straight, lifting off, letting the engine slow us down. We seem to struggle a little bit in turn 1 and 2, seem to lose out a little bit of time. But there are other places like the chicane towards the end of the lap where we really gain that tyre back. Got a bit wide there in the hairpin. We're going to look back onto the other, see if there are any battles that we can pick up. The top 5 quite spread out. We've got this battle between Bamba and Fuoco for 6th position. That is one of the closest on the track at the moment. The art car BMW of Van der Linde is still not able to make any inroads into Will Stevens. And we have the Porsche second Lamborghini of our teammate down in 10th and 11th, battling over the final points and positions. You see the field spread now down towards the lower regions of the field, so unfortunate for them, but the random grid is going to bite us at some point. We're going to be down there, so we've got to make the most of it while we are up in the lofty position of 3rd place. Here we've got the little train of Vanthor, Bamba and Fuoco. Is Bamba close enough to mount a challenge onto Vanthor? Obviously with lifting and coasting into turn 1, he might be able to make the move. He's very close, he's going to look to the inside, he just sticks behind there. Playing it safe, obviously Vanthor not lifting and coasting enough for Bamba to get past. But look how beautiful these cars are. I absolutely love these LMDH cars. I think all of them look absolutely spectacular, all of them sound spectacular. And just like in real life, they provide fantastic racing. We've got Vanthor leading this train, battling over 5th position. We've got on to us for a second to see how we're getting on. The top 3 separated by just over 2 seconds. Shatan has that slight advantage over Kubica and myself. We are looking desperately to get past the bright yellow Ferrari. The Ferrari was our team last year, so we're looking to stick it to them with their Italian rivals of Lamborghini. But I think out of the it's really important to get exit out the final corner. I think we're struggling to do that a bit against Ferrari. Obviously, Ferrari being 4-wheel drive, activating the front axle after 90 kilometers an hour. So it's not an immediate traction gain, but it is a traction gain nonetheless. And we're just going to have to stay behind for now. As we'll look at the battle behind. Excellent view of the trees here. This is like F1 level of terrible TV coverage, but we're finally on to a good view. There's Vanthor absolutely having a horrible time trying to get that BMW turned in. We saw him having 2 stabs at the wheel trying to get it in, and I think the Cadillac, and especially Fuoco looks mightily quick. I think he'll be getting a little bit frustrated at the lack of progress by Bamba. We're going to cut back onto the leaders as Shatan is making it back through the GT3 traffic for the 2nd time. And we're going to have to try and use this to our advantage. See if we can get past through Kubica here. Using the traffic. It's BMW. Plus, as we both make it past there. Racing towards this gaggle of cars down here. It's important to be aggressive but not be overly aggressive. You know, these GT3 cars are doing their own race. And it's our responsibility as the faster driver to, or in the faster car, to make it around. Oh, it doesn't overtake around the outside. Brave stuff there by the pole man. We're just going to have to stick behind the GT3 BMW here. Going into the hairpin. Kubica's an overtake on Chatan. Doesn't quite get it. We're going to... Oh, he does get out of the hairpin. We're going to stick behind Kubica. We've got past Chatan as well. Chatan getting caught up. Oh, there's a touch there on the Corvette with Kubica. Chatan is going to come back round our outside down the hill. What are we going to do? We get squeezed. We get boxed. We go down the inside of the Corvette, and the Corvette turns it on us, and we've spun and been hit by the McLaren. Oh, it's gone from glory to disaster as we're trying to get out of the way. We've been overtaken by Lapierre. Is Vanthor going to get through as well? Oh, what that disaster there. Massive damage on our car from being hit by... Oh, you see the front end. Absolutely massive damage. Bouncing all over the place there. And we've been hit by the Corvette. Hit by the McLaren. I'll leave that one up to you guys on whose fault with that. I think looking back, it was probably my fault. I think I should have, you know, given the Corvette the corner, backed out, you know, rather than, you know, lost a bit of time compared to losing, you know, 10 seconds now off the lead with massive damage. So we're going to have to come in a lap earlier than we were expecting to fix this damage. Vanthor is also into the pits with us as he gets very good entry there. And all the GT3 cars are in as well. We've got the second BMW behind that of Van der Linde in as well. The Toyota of, who are we on here? Conway coming up into, what's that, 9th place now. 10th place even. We'll have a little look back. Pierre Guidi even trying to get past Van Dorn. Proton Porsche, it's also Faschini at the tail end, and then we have us sat in the pits repairing that damage. What an absolute mare we've had there. Just as I was saying, you know, it's important when we're in these good positions to finish well, even if it's, you know, not the win. Make sure we're scoring good high points. We've gone and thrown it all away, so we'll be in the pits for a little while as that gets repaired. Hopefully that, well, keeps us on the lead lap. We're now looking up the field to second place of Chatan, who lost the lead in all that kerfuffle to Kubica. Is Kubica going to pit this lap, or is he going to go around for another one? He goes around for another lap. Chatan dives into the pits. Is Lapierre going to dive into the pits as well? Yeah, both Alpines going a lap longer, so it seems like at this point in time the Ferrari has very good fuel economy. Is able to go an extra few laps. We'll have to see what the other Ferraris do as we look onto the GT field. There we go. The Porsches as well seem to have very good fuel economy. Have to see how. Oh, and if we hadn't have had the accident, the Lamborghini of Bortoletti seems to have very good fuel economy as well. So we've currently got a Ferrari 1-2 of Kubica by the factory Ferrari of Fuoco. Then Will Stevens in the Toyota Porsche being caught up there by some traffic as he's going to have Matt Campbell or Kevin Estre even go up the inside and get the lead, and the was lost out to the factory team. I think Will Stevens might be in for a bit of a longer pit stop. I think he's sustained a fair bit of damage throughout this stint. We're going to look back. Was that Rasmussen, Pierre Guidi, Gianni, Fraschini? And you see the Alpine's still in the pits. Where are we? We are a lap down currently. We have Emmy the leader of the lap down cars, Van Thor in the BMW. The other BMW getting caught up there, being overtaken by or lapped by the Assatis Francini for now, and then we have us down in last place. All new front end on, cars fueled up, and we've got to have a bit of a recovery drive here to gain anything from this race. We're going to need an aggressive race, but we don't make any mistakes, because that mistake down the hill was really costly for us. Obviously, we're a lap down currently. By the time all the other drivers have pit, we've got the leaders. Well, actually, Conway's gone for another. So Conway being able to do 2-3 laps extra than everyone else, it seems. So you see these pace differences that we have could be contributed to, fuel saving, lifting and coasting. We overtake Imola, so we're up into 19th place, I think, there, and a little bit behind Van Dorn in the second of the Peugeots. Peugeot's having a terrible race there. Don't know whether that's damage, lack of speed. Like I said earlier, they do seem to lack some speed, but we are determined to climb our way back up the field. And with everyone in the pits now, we are able to gain time on them, get our lap back. And we are absolutely on it, already up behind the now winged Peugeot of Van Dorn. Absolutely beautiful livery there in the Peugeot. I think the Peugeot might be one of my favourite cars. I just wish it was that tad bit quicker. But we are right on his gearbox, looking right, left. We're going to get boxed in by the Ferrari here, brake, and let Van Dorn back through. A little contact there on the rear. As we get just all caught up behind the Peugeot. Flashing our lights there in anger that whatever that driving was. But there is a lot more of the GT3 traffic through, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage here. We're going to stick on ourselves for a little while, see if we can get past Van Dorn here, and then make our way up the field. But we've got the Proton competition of Neil Jarney, who's just come out of the pits. Van Dorn is right on the back of him as well. They'll be looking to make 2 moves here. Everyone has cycled through their pit stops now. Oh, I think Conway's in the pits now. So we'll wait for him to exit, and we'll give a rundown after the first stint of where everyone lies. But we are now drag race up the hill. Can we get past we're going to look to go around the outside. Braking late, getting caught up by Neil Jarney. Peugeot dives back inside, can't quite make a move there, but you see we have so much more pace at the moment. We really feel at home in this Lamborghini, even in our first race. And you see, we've got Pierre Guidi not even that far ahead. Although there's been quite a big field spread, everyone's still in the same half of the lap, so there's still plenty we can do here. And we're right on the back of Van Dorn now. Can we make a move? Are we going to dive it down the inside of the corner? We get blocked in a little bit there. We make the move, have a bit of a touch there, and then touches us back and spins us around. What was Van Dorn doing there? He tries to defend, moves very late. Fuck off. And then hits us once in the braking zone, and then just accelerates into the back and spins us. So we've had another absolute mare there. And now I am furious. Now
crashing into me.
Now I am on a mission. If I wasn't on a mission before, I'm on a mission now to claw my way back up. We've Bennett behind us and 18 other cars in front of us. We are on a mission to get past those Peugeots, because I was sick of being behind Van Dorn. While we chase after the Peugeots and the back of the train, we're going to go and look up through the field, see if we can find any battles to watch. A tight battle here between Van Thor and Will Stevens. Actually, we'll give a little rundown as well of the of the order of the race so far, obviously having this one pit stop so far. We have Kubica in the lead in the AF Corse Ferrari, followed very close behind by Chatan in the first of the Alpines. The second Alpine is in third of Nicolas Lapierre, so Alpine have a very good opening race here. Then behind them we have the American Cadillac of Alban, doing really well still, followed by Fuoco, who I feel like has fallen down the pack a little bit. Maybe he had some damage you need to repair. He was up in second place behind Kubica, remember, before those pit stops. Maybe a bit of damage there, but Fuoco looks mightily quick here. We then have the first of the factory Porsches of Kevin Estre in 6th position, followed by Buemi, who even after that very early stop for damage, not being held up, although his front end is very damaged here, although he's not being held up by perhaps as much traffic, he's been able to claw his way back up into 7th place, followed closely by his teammate of Mike Conway in 8th. Then we have the first of the privateer Porsches of Will Stevens in 9th place, followed closely by Van Thor and our teammate of Bortoletti. BMW having some damage front end as well, and Bortoletti looks very close to the back of him, able to make his way up into the points. We then have the second factory Porsche of Matt Campbell, followed closely by the Art BMW car, Van der Linde. Rasmussen was after that in the other Jota, followed by the Proto Competition Porsche and Pierre Guidi. We then have the Peugeots of Van Dorn and Muller, followed by in the Lamborghini, who we've closed down quite a bit. We're now only about 3 minutes away from Muller, so we are on a charge, determined to get back past Peugeots, gain some of that time back that we've lost, and will let us carry our charge as we'll look up the field to some of the battles we have going on. As Bortoletti goes quite wide there, almost loses it into the gravel, and that's let pull away a little bit, and still on the back of Will Stevens. The Toyota's still stuck behind Kevin Estre for the moment. Conway's up past Buemi even. Wonder if that was maybe some teams there, as Buemi will be surely pitting soon, I would imagine, after such an early pit stop. And I think the leaders have just made their way through the end of some GT3 traffic, and they'll be quickly on to the field. Cars everywhere right now around the circuit. We've got to that part of the race where you're just going to be in traffic constantly for the rest of the race. So it's going to be really crucial to keep your wits about you, keep your head down, keep concentrated, and just move up the traffic as quickly and as effectively as you can. Conway here looks like he's got a really good run on the Porsche of Kevin Estre, but just sticks behind him for now. Can't make it past him, but he's still sticking onto the back. Going to look down the inside into the second of the chicanes. No, he's just going to stick behind. Oh, but he gets pushed a bit wide there. Is Buemi going to go around the outside? No, he almost loses as well and puts into the gravel. See how difficult this track is. It's quite hot temperatures as well, so the tyres slipping and sliding over the place. And we are now going to cut onto the back of the field, back to our POV. As you see, we are now right up onto the back of Nico Muller, the Peugeot that crashed into us. But Muller, it's never good when you have to turn it right into a left-hander. And our car feels on absolute rails during this race. It's a shame that we've had those incidents. We could have been up there fighting with Kubica and Chatan for the race, but nevertheless, we are here down in 19th place, trying to claw anything back. We get very good so much quicker than the Peugeots at this point of the race. whether they're fuel saving, not sure what they're doing, whether it's lack of pace, might just be lack of pace, because they do seem to be quite slow. But we get a good run through the chicane. Sitting in the slipstream, we're going to look to the inside, are we? It's going to turn to the outside of the penultimate corner, but we're going to brake late. We're going to go around the outside, squeeze to the inside, we're round, and this time we don't get hit by the Peugeot, and we're up into 18th place. Really good move from us there. Nice, clean, aggressive, dedicated. We can now charge after Van Dorn, try and get some retribution back on the second of the Peugeot drivers. As we see, the battle's still going on between Bortoletti, Van Thorpe and Will Stevens. Each of them trying to up into the points. We've got the Toyotas chasing after Kevin Estre. I think there's been another change there. Buemi making it back past Conway. It is now trying to get past the Porsche of Kevin Estre. We've seen live the Porsches in the 2024 season were absolutely electric. I have to see, at the moment they don't seem to be doing too well. It seems to be the Alpines that are absolutely electric. There's actually, we look back up to the front, and Kubica getting caught up in some traffic here, almost losing it on the exit of the corner. He's been passed by Chatan and almost got passed by Lapierre there. So the Alpine back up into the lead of the race. I think they might have a little bit of free air for the moment, but quickly they will be into some more traffic. And it seems like at the moment, the one customer Ferrari fighting the two factory Alpines. Fuoco down fourth, a good 12 seconds behind this pair here. So Kubica has it all to do, all on his own. But we are going to jump back onto ourselves for a moment as we are catching up to Van Dorn. Playing a key role in this race, as we've got the other of Nico Muller by a couple of seconds here, and we're now on a charge for Van Dorn. Van Dorn about to be hindered by some traffic here. Catches him at a nice time to get that throttle there, loses some time down the hill. And that is only the start of... On the pit straight there are even more cars for Van Dorn to try and get through. We are going to scythe past the BMW, flashing our lights there. Gaining a little bit of time on Van Dorn. And let's jump back up the field momentarily. See what battles we have going on. Bortoletti's got past Van Thorpe, is now on up into 10th place, and it's on the back of Will Stevens. We have the Toyota of Buemi, very damaged there. He's going to need lots of repairs when he comes into the pit. These Toyotas still stuck behind Kevin Estre, even the traffic not doing anything. We're going to dive down the inside off the McLaren. Oh, that's a late move by Mike Conway, but get done. Oh, I've missed it up at the front of the field, but Lapierre's got past Kubica, and it's now an Alpine 1-2. Having an excellent first race here so far. The second round of pit stops will be coming up shortly, but they now have some clean air. Well, I think Chatan is just about to pass potentially the leader. Oh, all getting shoved out to the outside there. Shatan now in some clean air for about half a lap. And similarly, teammate of Lapierre will be soon enough. Buemi is in the pits. I would imagine a longer stop, but we got back onto the action here with myself and Van Door getting stuck in some traffic. We're going to go down the inside and get the move done down into turn 1. Lovely stuff there as we move up into what will be 15th place because of some of the pit stops. But we get our revenge on Van Dorn. Finally get past him, don't get hit this time. And we're now, for all this we've had, we're only about 30 odd seconds off the leader. So I think we've done a very good recovery drive so far. Still 47 minutes left to go. Yeah, still over halfway to go in this race. And so much action in this first round. It's going to be like this every round, so if you're enjoying, please like, please subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else you want to say, because I'm very, I'm back into the swing of things now. There's going to be a charity race later on in the year. I'm going to do, which more details will be coming out about that as the year progresses. But if there's anything in particular you want to see, just let me know down below, because this is one of my main games now. I've really been enjoying it, and I'm enjoying making content again on it. So please let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll see what I can do. But we are trying to chase down the Ferrari of Pierre Guidi. Even he gets caught up there. We're going to overtake Buemi, who's just exited the pits. Oh, we're going to make a double overtake down the inside of Ferrari. We get a little bit of side contact there as we try and get past the McLaren and Ferrari in one go, but couldn't quite make that happen. Charge down to the second chicane. Try and get a good run through here. Very difficult. Got to keep it, difficult not to go wide there and collect the gravel. We're now going to try and get a good exit out of the chicane. Getting the overspeed on the GT3 car. We're going to go down the inside at the top of the hill. Can we keep it clean? And we do, and we get through the Ferrari there of Pierre Guidi and up into 14th place. We have really come alive in this stint, and hopefully there is more to come from this pace. With Neil Johnny ahead of us in the Proton competition Porsche. There's lots of traffic here, catching up the Jota of Rasmussen and the factory Porsche of Matt Campbell, who's just tucked in behind the BMW art car. We're a little way behind this pack. We're going to overtake the Corvettes and the Ferrari here. You see Pierre Guidi in the background following us through. Get caught up in the first chicane by this Ferrari. Hopefully that's not Pierre Guidi gaining too much time on us. We're going to do a little switchback. Some of the AI like to go around the outside there. Don't trust the GT3 cars to go around the outside there, so we just keep safe. Do a little switchback. Does mean that we've lost some time though. Pierre Guidi now right behind us. And you see on the leaderboard, up at the front of the field, Kubica's fallen about 6 seconds behind the lead Alpine of Shatan. But they have a nice sizable gap back to Bamber. And the gap from first to fourth is bigger than the gap from fourth to us. So we're still in this race, still plenty of points on offer for us. Imagine in the next lap or two we're going to be having some pit stops. Unfortunately with the replay system, I'd love to be able to flick through and see what our fuel usage is at, but at the moment I cannot do that. I'll try and figure out a way to do that in the future, but for now we're just stuck with the gap to the leader. We continue on for another lap here. Managed to save more fuel, extend our stint more than what we did in the first. Obviously having to come in early to repair damage. And while we chase down Neil Jarney, let's have a little look up the field to see what's going on. We've got a little battle here between the 3 Porsches and the BMW. All the cars there just struggling to get it to the chicane. All just having massive entry oversteer. Our teammate of Bortoletti is up into 9th place and he's chasing down the other Porsches, Porsches everywhere you look, of Will Stevens and Kevin Estra, who are then in turn chasing down the Ferrari Fuoco, who seem to have slowed down a little bit on this second stint. Perhaps just saving a bit more fuel than he did in the first. Perhaps the conditions, the heat, not favouring the Ferraris much now. Could explain why Kubica has lost so much pace. Or it could be damage. We'll have to wait and see at the pit stops. Conway is still on the back. Bamber trying to make his way up into 4th position. Bamber seems to have damage on that front end, so he will be in for a longer pit stop, as will Conway. But I think one of the closest battles here is with Kevin Estra, Fuoco, Stevens and Bortoletti for 6th place. Well, I think Fuoco is a little bit out of this battle for the moment, but the Lamborghini looking on absolute rails here. Now, we found that our Lambo was very, very good around here as well. Felt very in the groove. Could drive to the curb well, deal with the bumps. And it seems like our teammate is feeling that way as well. But the Porsches are no slouches. Very quick. Even if they're not as don't seem to be as quick as they are in real life. They are exceptionally fast. So it'll be difficult for Bortoletti to get past them. We're going to jump down back onto ourselves for a moment as we are chasing down Neil Jarney and the BMW of Van der Linde. Let's just enter the pits. We're looking to get past Neil Jarney. We have excellent pace at the end of this stint, right up on this 4-car battle. What can we do here? We're going to go for a move down the inside of Neil Jarney, and he's spun us, he's turned in on us, and we've spun, and we've had another incident. I think
fucking turn in on me.
We were, we deserved a bit more room there, if I'm being completely honest. But Neil Jarney just turning in on us, causing us to spin. Luckily, we didn't really pick up any damage from that. All we did was
just get fucking turned in on.
Ruin our tyres, which we were going to change in the next lap or two anyway, and lose a position and lost some time. Lost 7-8 seconds there, which isn't ideal. But this second stint showed so much promise, but also showed so much heartache of being tagged by Vandal, being tagged there by Neil Jarney. We're going to have to be maybe more careful, maybe just a bit more precise, a bit more authoritative with our overtakes. Because we can't keep having these incidents, can't keep losing all this time. We have so much pace, and we just aren't able to show it because we just keep getting up in instant after instant. But we get some pit stops now. We have the 2 Alpines in the pits. Pierre Guidi continues on. We come into the pits as well. Bamber in the pits. The Alpines Peugeot following me in. And we seem to have done quite well, our fuel. We seem to be kind of back on track. That looked like a McLaren there stopped at the end of the start-finish straight, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But we are into, as you see, the yellow flag there, obviously for that stricken McLaren. No safety cars yet in this game. I'm very excited for the day that they introduced, which just add that extra level of realism and immersion into the game. But for now, we'll just have to see where we come out in all this second round of pit stops. A whole gaggle of Porsches from 6th down to 9th. Cubits and Way have taken the lead as they continue on and do another lap or two, showing again that the Ferrari and Toyota have excellent fuel mileage. Will the Porsches pit this lap, or will they too go on to do another lap? They all continue on to do another lap, so 2 more laps than everyone else. Sticking with the fuel strategy of the leading Ferraris and Toyota. But we are going to have to look to see where we are, because we have just come out of the pits. We are actually up into 15, so we've somehow overtaken Bamber in that round of pit stops. Obviously Bamber must have had massive damage on his Cadillac. And we have managed to jump him. You see Bamber right behind us. We then have what I believe is actually Rasmussen, Campbell and Neil Jarney behind us. So we are a lap down here. We have to try and be very quick because we're being shown the blue flags at every steward's post. And I'm not 100% sure whether you get penalties for blue flags or not in this game. I have a feeling you do. We really want to stay out of the blue flag zone. I think it's about a second and a half that you need to stay out of. Because we do not want a penalty, and we don't. But the thing is, we don't want to give up time, and Bamber's not giving up the position either. So I'm going off of that. I'm saying Bamber's not yielding, so why should I yield, really? You know, they've got to get past him first to lap me. But they continue on for another lap behind us. Hopefully with the fresher tyres, we are able to pull away from them a little bit. But the new tyres, well, no tyre blankets in WEC, so they take a few laps to warm up, and I always find that at the start of a stint, the AI are normally a bit faster than me, and then as the stint wears on and my tyres come up to temperature, I normally tend to come back at them. I think we've just got a bit wide there as Bamber goes up the inside of us at the hairpin. It's now a drag race up the hill. Can we get the position back, or is Bamber going to stay ahead of us? We look to go around the outside, can't quite go, and we just make contact with the right rear corner of the Cadillac. But he gets caught up behind the Ferrari. Can we go round the outside? 3 wide there momentarily, almost onto the grass. We go around the outside of the chicane. Can we get the move done? We get the move done. He goes over the curbs, and we get the move done. And he's now got, I think that's Matt Campbell right behind him, who I think should probably be coming into the pits this lap. You know, they've gone an extra 3-4 laps longer than the rest of us. So I think any more, you know, would be a bit. Well, it'd be a miracle if he's done any more. Let's see what he dives off into the pits. He dives off down into the pit lane. As there's a kerfuffle in the pits between Rasmussen, Will Stevens and who was that? Rasmussen, Stevens and Neil Jarney. Absolute chaos here. We've overtaken our teammate who must have had big damage. So in this second round of pit stops, not repairing the slight damage that we have really saved us. currently up in 11th position with still the top 7 to pit. So we'll have to see where we come out when all these pit stops, or where we shuffle up when all these pit stops are done. Flashing our lights there at the McLaren, just having to stay behind. We're wary of taking the GT3 cars. Bamber gets a good run round, almost going around the outside, but almost going 3 wide there, but just sticks behind. We're looking to overtake this little gaggle of GT3 cars, going from the left-hand side, right-hand side to the left-hand side, down the inside of the chicane, putting a few cars between us and Bamber, and allowing us to run away slightly, and gives us a little gap to Bamber and Buemi in the Toyota. What a hectic race we've had here. Kubitz is in the pits. Pierre leading. He continued on for another lap. We're just going to wait for the leaderboard to update here. A delay on the leaderboard, so we will see where everyone shuffles out of the pit lane. We have a Toyota ahead of us of Conway, I believe. We are up past Kevin Estra. And we are up into 10th place. We're back into the points. So we've had a mega stop there. You know, Estra, Bortoletti, Rasmussen, Jarni, Van Thorpe having longer pit stops. I've probably got a bit of damage that they need to repair. And now Kubica and Pierre Guidi, and I think Furuko just came out. So we'll see where the Ferraris cycle out into. Obviously, Kubica was in P behind Chassan and Lapierre. The Alpines having a great race, but we are now only... What's that? Oh, as we squeeze past the BMW there. We are only about, what, 20 seconds behind? Although I think Furuko's about to take the lead here. Let's cut on to the front of the field to see what is happening. We've got one Ferrari in the pit. An Alpine. The Kubica's just exiting the pits now and is behind the Alpine. And where has Van der Linde come from? And we have Will Stevens up into second. How is he managed that? We have our new race leader, Furuko. Obviously, Furuko and Will Stevens not having any damage at all. So we have Furuko, Will Stevens from Furuko. Then we have Chassan, who was leading the race, now dropped down to 3rd place. Lapierre, a few more seconds behind him, in 4th place. Van der Linde in the art car, having a stunning race, a stunning recovery pit stop, up into P5. Kubica has fallen down from P3 down into P6 and is now being chased down by Matt Campbell in the first of the factory the Penske Porsches. Conway then leads the Toyota Charge in P8. We have ourselves in P9, followed by Bamber, and then outside the points we have the second of Buemi, then Van Dorn and Muller in close pursuit of each other, up into 12th and 13th. So they've had been at the back, not getting into well, apart from shunting me off the road. They've managed to gain a bit on the other Penske Porsche of Kevin Estra. Bortoletti, who was having a great race, since now fallen down the field. Rasmussen, Miljani, the last of Ferraris of Pierre Guidi, Van Thor, and then at the back of the pack, so Fraschini of Bennett. As we look back up the field, we are now 21 seconds off the lead of the race, so we've done quite well, I feel like. To gain the time back in our number 19 Lamborghini. Our tyres temperature now, we have Bamber, or we've fought off the charge from Bamber, and we now set our sights on the Toyota on way ahead. Let's see what we can do. We'll look up the field to see if we can find a close. Well, I think this is one of the closest battles we have at the moment, which is Campbell chasing down Kubica. The Ferrari obviously looking exceptionally fast in this race. Kubica at the start of the race now for Oko, who's now leading. Has got past Will Stevens at the front of the field. Have to see if might have been a little bit of traffic there that caused that. See if Will Stevens can get back past the Alpine. 0.3 seconds behind, he's well within slipstream range. Absolutely no traffic ahead of them. It's a drag race down into turn 1, but the Alpine looks like it has the legs over the Porsche and keeps the position. Up into P2 for Chatham. The Alpine seem to be having a very strong outing, first outing here in Imola. We'll drop back onto Matt Campbell, who's chasing down Kubica. See if Kubica can get those tyres warmed up and use some of that pace in the Ferrari that we know it has. About a minute covers the hypercar field, which, you know, for this stage of the race is reasonably quite good. No one having any major, no DNFs. Lots of instances and damage and repairs, but no DNFs, which is what we like to see. As we've hit a bit of a lull in this race, we'll talk about the standings and how they're going to work. So in real life, you have standings, obviously, drivers that score points. Those points go towards driver standings. You then have the manufacturer. So obviously, you know, in this instance, we have the Penske Porsches, we have the Jotas, we have some competition Porsches. It would be the highest Porsche basically would score points, which is what we're doing. So the highest Porsche will score points, the highest Ferrari score points, the highest BMW score points, etc. And then what they do in the real WEC is they have, I think it's called like the World Privateer World Cup or something like that, where only the customer teams can score points for it. So you would have like the Jotas, the Protons. I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to have the teams championship. So these will be broken down into, you know, Penske. There'll be Penske Porsche. There'll be Jota Porsche. There'll be Proton competition Porsche. And then the highest car team will score points to keep it fair. So, you know, sort of AF Corsa with Kubica only has one car, whereas, you know, the factory Ferraris have two cars, so it'd be a bit unfair for them both to score points. So it's the highest position will score points for the teams and the manufacturers' standings. Sorry about that, I had a bit of a technical issue there. But yeah, as I was saying, we try and keep it fair, so we have a good teams championship, and we also have manufacturers championship. That's all fair and well. At the front of the field, we've had Chatan get past Will Stevens up into second place. He will now try and chase down Ferroco. We're still on this battle here between Campbell and Conway, both of whom are trying to chase down Kubica. We're actually far behind this battle, about 7 seconds further back. Conway looks like he's got a good run here. It's about 3/10 back, definitely within slipstream position. Is he going to go to the left hand side? Is he going to go to the right hand side? Is he just stay behind? He just sticks behind. Probably doing a bit of lifting and coasting. See the windshield. The number 5 Porsche, absolutely filthy. But both these drivers having a really good opening race. As you can see, the Porsches don't seem to be the quickest round here. I know Will Stevens obviously started on pole because of the random grid order, but he immediately lost pole position. He's not really had the pace, but he's kept up there. But you see the Gaggle cars now, 15th, 16th, 17th, seemingly having no pace. We're into the last 25 minutes now. It's really coming to crunch time. everyone should have one pit stop left. Probably no tyre changes, splash of fuel, and off you go. Ready for the end of the race. Try and put in a good final stint. You see, every car that we go onto, all moved around at the braking turn. They're all moving around throughout the corners. They're very, very difficult but very fun to drive. Campbell going past the Ferrari there, being followed through by the Toyota, but still no moves happening down into turn 1. See, that is the 5th place Van der Poel, who's just come through the screen there, being chased by Kubica, and then the Balling duo here. Buemi, the sister Toyota, has just pitted. That will be for the last time. I think there's about 22 minutes left now. He should easily be able to get to the end of the race. So hopefully that early pit stop that he had won't have hidden as much. You know, it would have done his splash and dash at the start rather than at the end. Top 4 covered by 9 seconds, so all still to play for there. Froco seems to have checked out a little bit in front with 6 seconds. We've got the 2 minutes there that Campbell gets, I think, hits one of the McLarens there, and the Toyota Conway is able to sneak past. And you see how influential traffic is in endurance racing. You really do have to have your wits about you to overtake the car safely, not get caught up, or try and get as caught up as least as you can. And hopefully Campbell doesn't have too much damage on his Porsche 963. Still a lot of traffic for these 2 gentlemen to get through. See here, 3 Corvettes down into the second chicane. Oh, Conway has just absolutely taken out the lead of those 3 Corvettes. That will be massive damage on his right hand side. I would imagine, I don't think the game would give it to him, but that would be a penalty in real life. That was very dangerous there from Conway, and you see now he's got massive damage on that front end. The penalty is for him. He's going to have to repair that in the pit stop, but poor Corvette being just absolutely demolished there. And you see the damage to Conway's car is made all over the place. See if Campbell can get back past him. We're 7 seconds off the back of this battle here. We'll have to see if we can catch up, or we'll have to do it in the pit stops. Left of this race, coming into the closing stints. I have to see, is Conway going to pit this lap to repair that damage, or is he going to continue on another couple of laps? Continues on. Damage might just be visual, but he will definitely need to repair that at the final round of pit stops. Let's look forward to Nicolas Lapierre in P4 as he chases Will Stevens, but is still a second or 2 behind him, and a second and 2 in front of Will Stevens is the other Alpine sandwich here of Chatham. But Furoko in the Ferrari 499P looks comfortably in the lead. See, that was our old car from season 1. And Furoko has taken it over and looks to be on for winning ways at the start of season 2. We'll look down the field to see if we can find any close battles. Here we have ourselves chasing after Matt Campbell now. 6 seconds between us. Bamba, who was on our tail at the start of the stint, we've dropped him by about 2 seconds. And then we have our teammate of Bortoletti in 11th place, making his way through some LMGT3 traffic of the two Peugeots, who were then followed by a lapped Buemi. That won't be helping Buemi's charge back up the field, making his way through the lap traffic. Estra siding through the GT3s there. Have quite a bit of damage on his Porsche. Nil Johnny down 15th. There's a little bit of a gap over Pierre Guidi. Pierre Guidi just doesn't seem to be able to produce the pace that the other two Ferraris have. Now he started quite low down the field, but you know, Fuoco was down in 7th and jumped up to 1st. So obviously just lacking some pace there in the 51 Ferrari. Rasmussen has dropped a place to Pierre Guidi. Obviously, the Porsches seem to just not be settled around here in Imola. But overall, I would say the LMDH cars seem to have really good pace. The Alpines have been P2 and P4. Stevens up in P3, Van der Linde P5, us P8 or P9 even. So plenty of LMDHs in the top 10, but the Porsches just don't seem to be having the pace. Pace around the tight and twisty Imola circuit. Can Nil Johnny get past Pierre Guidi? Or has Pierre Guidi just actually gone past Nil Johnny, I think, there? So I think that Ferrari does have pace. Nil Johnny goes for the overtake that we went for at the end of the first stint, but manages to get through there without any contact. All the Ferrari gets squeezed there. Is that going to allow Nil Johnny to get through? It is. Diving down into the braking zone. This is a fantastic battle for P15, but Pierre Guidi keeps it ahead of the Proton competition Porsche. And now he has Rasmussen right on his tail. We have Kevin Estre chasing down Nico Muller and Van Dorn. Well, Van Dorn's actually quite a bit ahead of Muller, to be fair. And Bortoletti in 11th, kind of in no man's land, quite a way behind Bamba. You know, good 15 seconds there between the end of the top 10 and 11th place. We're putting in a good showing here on our first race for Lamborghini. See, our car seems to be running quite stiff, seems to be quite bouncy over the bumps. The rear end bouncing away there. Have to maybe look at some setup changes for the next race. Oh, as we going very deep there, sliding our way through there. The bumps seem to be quite unsettling us, but you know, didn't let us really affect us in the race. Perhaps for some of the more difficult circuits, you know, maybe when we go to Sebring, that's obviously a very bumpy track. We'll have to try and soften the suspension, get a bit more compliance in the rear end, and make it a bit more consistent for us, perhaps. Van der Linde is in the pits for his final pit stop, so that moves us up a place into P8. Campbell just getting past one of the Ferrari GT3s as Conway chases down Cubitt. So this looks to be one of the closest battles on the track at the moment. We'll have to keep an eye on Buemi as well, see where he filters out with all these pit stops. But Fuoco at the moment still seems to be having this commanding lead. Almost 10 minutes left, so can he bring it home or stop to go a splash and dash for everyone here? And what will be a real result, or a factor in the results, is how much of a splash and dash do you need? You know, Ferraris, the Toyotas, they seem to be able to go, you know, 2-3 laps longer than everyone else. That's, you know, a good few seconds less that they need in this last pit stop. So perhaps put my money on Fuoco at this point. No traffic in the way at the moment for the leading group of cars, although they are about to join some GT3 traffic. Buemi has come out, or Van der Linde has come out ahead of Buemi. Still on the lead lap is Van der Linde, so I think perhaps Buemi's early pit stops and troubles that he's had throughout the race might not have him, and he might be looking at a poor result. But we'll have to see in this final round of pit stops happens. Oh my god, there's been a crash! As Kubica tried to overtake one of the GT3 cars, he gets caught up there, goes back to the outside and gets pincered by Conway. He's lucky to still be in the right direction. But wow, that could have been very close. Now there's big damage on, well, you can see it there on the Toyota. The front end absolutely mashed in, so he's going to be in for a lengthy repair at this final stop. And I think the AI drivers always repair when they come into a pit stop, so that might be something that we have to implement in the next race to make sure that we keep it fair and consistent. Because we have jumped up quite a few places in the last stop, and we'll have to see how many more places we jump up in this stop. But that's massive damage there for Conway. He has moved up into third place. Will he be pitting this lap? No, continues on for another lap. Same too with Kubica behind. So obviously the damage not too substantial. Campbell continues on. We are into the pits for our final pit stop. Nice little splash and dash at the end. Bortoletti coming through the final corner here. Is he going to be joining us in the pits? No, he continues on. As we stop on our pits, we have the Peugeot 93 Peugeot of Imola coming down the pit lane. So he's a lap down. Let's see where he cycles out. And we're in that phase of the race where we don't really know where everyone else is after the next few laps. Oh, we've got is that Pierre Guidi lapping Nico Muller, who's just come out of the pits on maybe cold tyres, it looks like, because Pierre Guidi looks like he's got a bit of an advantage. We'll have to see, does the competition pass the Peugeot just as quickly? But it looks like he's a little bit behind him. Let's look up the field. See, we have Conway and Campbell, who seem to be quite close. At least that's what the timing grid would say. Yeah, relatively close. Both of them staying out for the lap. Oh, and then that is a Alpine who has pitted. So they were obviously up towards the head of the field. They've pitted. They are now back down in 13th place. We've come out ahead of the Alpines. So I believe that means we are, well within the, well, the Alpines were in the top 5, so we must be well within them. It says overtakes here, the Peugeot being lapped by Neil Jarni, and there's Rasmussen right behind them. Either of them can come into the pits. Both of them dive into the pits. Pierre Guidi continues. Here we are down in 12th place at the moment. About 6-7 seconds ahead of Chatan. So we have, I presume Chatan had damage and repairs. And again, we have come out in a very good position from not repairing. So I think for the next race on, we will have to start repairing at pit stops to make it fair. I don't know if it's tyre change. They always do tyre changes, or whether they always do pit repairs. But we are currently in 8th position, still with all the cars ahead of us to do their final pit. We're about 70 seconds off the lead, so we could be in a good shout here for the podium places. We'll just have to wait and see where the cars are out. We've got Fuoco in the pits, Stevens in the pits, Campbell in the pits, Conway in the pits, Kubica in the pits. All the leaders are in the pits right now, And we'll be waiting with bated breath to see who comes out. I think Furuoka was the first one in the pit, so is he already? And he's away. Very short stop there. So I would say probably fuel and no tyres. I would say we'll have to wait to see what the gaps are like. And he trundles down this very long pit lane. See Pierre Guidi go past him. Estra's gone past him. We are the next car. As we're coming through the final corner now, so we're quite a way behind Furuoka. All these cars sitting in the pits. Finally, Furuoka is out of the pit lane, charging down towards turn 1. And I think he retained the lead once the stop screen has shuffled itself about. Unsure what's going on with the pit stop screen. We will wait and see. We're just on a bit of a lag there. But I would say our top 3 are Furuoka, Stevens, and then myself, who's chasing down man in the Jota. Have to see. Oh, Kevin Estra and Kubica. Pierre now in the pits, I believe. Because here we have Kubica, Estra, Pierre Guidi. They're still continuing on. Still, maybe they can make it to the end on this fuel. For some reason, I thought that they were in the pits. Perhaps it was. Perhaps I was wrong there. I don't know. But we'll look at the battle between ourselves and Will Stevens. Right up to the Porsche. And, if this is for 5th position, we're laughing really, because we were down in 20th at one point during this race. We had an excellent drive back. Obviously, some of that is due to the repair. We're going to go for a move down the inside. No, we're not. We're just going to stick behind. See. Stevens defending the line, the inside line a bit there. We're going to try and get a little switch back. We've got a good run through that corner, but we're going to remember what happened to us before with Neil Jarni and just stick behind for now. We're going to look into the hairpin. I think we're just going to stick behind for now. Run a little bit wide. And Stevens has just pulled away from us a little bit. Shat 5 seconds behind us. The repairs really hampering the Alpines, who were, looked in the box seat to win this race. We'll look ahead to see. Well, Kubica is now in the pits. Kubica is in the pits, so they must have gone a few more laps longer. Estra, I would imagine, will be joining the pits as well. With less than 5 minutes to go. What a devastating thing to have to do. Maybe, an extra lap here or there. I mean, they're probably already saved quite a few more laps than everyone else on their previous stints. But it means that Furuoka is going to drive by and regain the lead of the race for the home crowd. And there we go. He overtakes Pierre Guidi, Kubica and Estra in the pit lane and retakes first position. We will follow them through. Well, Stevens will follow them through. Then we will follow them through behind in 3rd position. So now we're up into 3rd. We've had an absolutely incredible comeback here. As we now try and chase after Will Stevens. Let's see if we can perhaps maybe even get 2nd. Is that too cheeky to ask for? About 7 seconds between Stevens and Furuoka, so I'd say probably both of them not needing repairs in the last race. Maybe I wouldn't have thought they would take tyres in the last, but I don't know how the AI works with tyres. Might have to be something that I look at in the future. But we've got some traffic that we contend with. So, as it stands at the last pit stop, we have Furuoka in the lead. 7 seconds ahead of the pole-sitting Will Stevens. We are then in 3rd, a few seconds behind. Shatan, who's been leading so much of this race, is in 4th. Van der Linde has had an excellent recovery drive to be 5th. Kubica as well. Had a great start to the race, but he's fallen down to 6th. Conway's in 7th. Pierre Guidi had an absolutely fantastic recovery drive from down very far off the back of the pack. 18th, 19th. Unleashed some of the pace of the Ferrari and is now up into 8th. Lapierre, terrible fortune for the Alpine. It's up into 3rd at one point, now down in 9th. As well. First with the Penske Porsches in 10th. Van Dorn, excellent race to be up in 11th place. They looked like they had no pace even. You have Gianni and Bamber following close behind. And with only a few minutes left of this race, it's been an excellent first race, I feel. We've had drama, we've had we've had overtakes, and WEC has just delivered what WEC does. Ultimate has had many updates recently, or in the past year that it's been out, because it's almost been out for a year now, and it's definitely one of my favourite games. There's no denying that there's lots of bugs and missing features, but what it does right is the core fundamental aspects of a racing game, and that is the drive, and that is the racing. That is what Drive a Sim to do, is to enjoy the racing. And it has provided some incredible racing for us in the opening round here. We're going to jump up to the front of the field because I think Fuoco has been caught up in some traffic. And the gap that was 7 seconds is now down to 4. Overtaking some of the last 3 cars that he's going to overtake this race. Looks like he's got a pretty clear track ahead of him. We will jump back onto Will Stevens as he overtakes Corvette and a Ferrari on the pit straight. We're going to follow him through. And we're about a second behind him. Through the first sector chicanes for the last time. Will Steven gets caught up behind behind the Corvette and goes round the outside of Ferrari, but gets blocked in, and he gets really boxed in there. Are we going to go up the inside? We think go up the inside there and up the hill. We're in second place. We've done it. We've got past him. We've used it to our advantage, and we are now in second place. Can we keep it in second place for the last half of this lap? We should be clear of any traffic, I believe. I think looks like a clean fight to the end. He's got 2 more overtaking chances down into this hairpin, but he looks to be a little bit too far behind. We're going to take it easy on the brakes, get a nice run through here. Just glance over the sausage curbs, and we've got a good run down towards the penultimate corner, and it looks like we are going to just about keep this position. As Fuoco comes through the final corner, the race is over. Comes across the finish line. Antonio Fuoco has won round 1 here in Imola of Season 2 My Drive. We are going to come through to finish in second. What an absolutely fantastic recovery drive from us. Will Stevens brings the pole sit. Jota home in 3rd. Shatan brings the car home, home in 4th. And as the rest of the field cycles through, we have Van der Linde in 5th, Kubica 6th, Conway in 7th, Pierre Guidi in 8th, Lapierre in 9th, and the first of the Penske Porsches in Matt Campbell in 10th. So obviously the driver standing is going to look how they finished today. Obviously 38 points being awarded to the winner due to it being a standard length race. Moving on to the manufacturers, obviously have Ferrari and Lamborghini bring first and second points. Porsche with their finish finished 3rd, Alpine in 4th, BMW in 5th, Toyota in 6th, and then the remaining manufacturers. And then as for the teams, Ferrari scored 38 points, Iron Lynx, Lamborghini scored 27, Jota 23, Alpine 18, BMW WRT 15, AF Corsa Ferrari 12, Toyota 9, Penske Porsche the final remaining 2 points. I hope you enjoyed our opening race here for My Drive Season 2. If you did enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, comment below what your favourite moment of the race was, and anything that you want to see in the future. I hope you will have and I'll see you next time for round 2, the first sprint of season 2.